Welcome back to Evidence Arrest Podcast, your deep dive into the most compelling true crime stories unfolding today. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and join us as we explore the case of Mary Yoder. In July of 2015, a beloved chiropractor in Utica, New York, suddenly became violently ill. Her name was Mary Yoder. At first, it looked like a medical mystery. A sudden illness, a rapid decline, a family in shock. But when toxicology results came back, everything changed. Because inside Mary's system was a lethal amount of a drug called colchicine, a prescription medication, one she was never prescribed, which meant one thing: this wasn't natural. Someone poisoned her. Mary Yoder wasn't just known in her community. She was loved. She co-owned a chiropractic office with her husband, Dr. William Bill Yoder. Together they built a practice, a reputation, a life. They had 3 children, including their son Adam, who also worked at the family business. From the outside, everything looked stable, normal. In July 2015, Mary started feeling sick. At first, it didn't seem unusual, maybe a virus, something temporary. But then, it escalated. Rapidly. Severe symptoms, organ failure, a decline that didn't make sense. And within days, Mary was gone. Doctors were confused. The symptoms didn't match anything obvious, so they ran toxicology tests. And what they found was shocking. Colchicine, in lethal amounts. Colchicine is not something you casually come across. It's a prescription drug, used in small doses for conditions like gout. But in large amounts, it's deadly. And Mary didn't have a prescription, which meant someone had to get it, and someone had to give it to her. When a spouse dies, investigators start close to home. And that meant looking at Bill Yoder, her husband, business partner, closest person to her daily life. But then, something changed. An anonymous letter, sent to police. And this letter didn't point to Bill. It pointed to someone else. The letter claimed that Adam Yoder, Mary's own son, was responsible, and it gave specific details. Enough to make investigators take it seriously. Police searched Adam's Jeep, and inside, they found something critical. A hidden bottle of colchicine. At this point, it felt like the case was coming together. The poison, the suspect, the evidence. And this is one of those moments where you kind of stop and think. Her son? Really? Because that's not just a crime. That's something almost impossible to wrap your head around. Investigators began building a case. Motive, opportunity, access. And for a moment, it seemed like they had their answer. But then, the details didn't quite hold up. Things didn't line up perfectly, and investigators started looking closer. And that's when another name began to surface: Kaitlyn Conley, the office manager at the chiropractic practice and Adam's ex-girlfriend. Their relationship had been complicated. On again, off again, tension, emotional strain, and possibly resentment. Then investigators found something that changed everything. Digital evidence. A hidden email account used to order colchicine online. Prepaid credit cards purchased in a way that raised suspicion. Searches about lethal dosages, poisoning, effects of colchicine, a draft of the anonymous letter saved digitally, backups of phone data. That would later become central to the trial. When you put it together, it formed a different narrative. One that pointed directly at Kaitlyn. Kaitlyn Conley was arrested, charged, and in 2017 convicted of first-degree manslaughter. She was sentenced to 23 years in prison. And for a moment, it seemed like the case was over. But cases like this rarely stay that simple. In January 2025, everything changed again. Her conviction was overturned because of issues with the search warrant used to examine her phone, which meant some of the most important evidence was now in question. After years in prison, Kaitlyn was released from custody. Now, prosecutors are fighting to retry the case before the statute of limitations runs out. But it's complicated. Key evidence is now sealed. Digital forensics are under scrutiny, and the case is no longer as clear-cut as it once seemed. So now, we're left with the same question. Who poisoned Mary Yoder? A respected woman, a sudden death, a poison she never should have had, and a case that keeps changing. This isn't just a mystery. It's an ongoing story, one that still doesn't have a final answer. Thank you for watching Evidence Arrest Podcast. If you want to hear more cases like this, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss future episodes. Stay safe and take care of each other.